So, you're running an e-commerce brand, and you know the daily grind all too well. Today, we're diving into a total game changer. AI assistants that can take hours of that tedious, manual work and shrink it down to just minutes of focused, strategic action.
Let's be real for a second. If you're in the direct-to-consumer world, this screen right here is probably your reality, isn't it? You're just buried in spreadsheets. You're manually yanking data from Shopify, then from Meta, trying to smash it all together so it tells some kind of coherent story. It's a massive, massive drain on your time and, honestly, your energy.
But what if all of that painstaking heavy lifting could be done for you? And I'm not talking about in hours, I'm talking about in minutes. That's the powerful idea behind having an AI co-pilot. And in this explainer, we are going to break down exactly how these tools work, and more importantly, how you can start using them.
All right, here's our game plan. First, we'll get right into the heart of the problem, what we're calling the e-commerce data grind. Then, we'll look at the AI cure, first for financial clarity and then for business storytelling. And finally, we'll wrap up by defining what it really means to have an AI co-pilot on your team. Let's dive in. Okay, first up, the data grind. This is that daily challenge that is holding so many D2C brands back from where they could be.
Does this list feel a little too familiar? I bet it does. It's that endless cycle of merging Shopify and metadata in Excel just to figure out a simple marketing efficiency ratio. It's staring at a blank, blinking cursor trying to draft an investor update. It's that feeling of trying to turn pages and pages of raw data into just a few solid notes for a pitch deck. Every single one of these tasks is crucial, but man, they are a huge time sink.
But this is where things get really interesting. Now that we've set the stage with the problem, let's see how AI can deliver the solution, starting with bringing some serious financial clarity to your automated reports.
First on our list is a tool called Julius AI. And honestly, the best way to think about it is as your personal automated reporting assistant, just ready and waiting to handle all that complex number crunching for you. The real beauty of it is just how simple the workflow is. You just connect your data sources, your Shopify, your Meta. Then you use a simple prompt, just plain English to ask for what you want. And boom, instantly it visualizes key metrics like your sales versus your ad spend. The kind of work that used to take hours of fighting with Excel is now done in literally seconds. Okay, so Julius handles the reporting. That's awesome. But what about actually interpreting that data to make better decisions? Well, for that, let's meet Claude AI. This tool acts less like an assistant and more like a true analytical copilot.
With Claude, you can just upload a spreadsheet and ask it to summarize and analyze. And this is where its power really shines. It doesn't just give you a summary back. No, it generates genuine insights. It can even calculate things like confidence intervals to show you how certain the data is, and it can help build out business decision matrices so you can actually weigh your options. It takes you from just knowing the data to knowing what to do with it.
So you've got clarity on your numbers. Fantastic. But how do you communicate what those numbers mean? Well, that brings us to our next big point, using AI for business storytelling. This is all about turning those raw numbers into narratives that actually persuade people.
And we're going to start with a pretty familiar name, ChatGPT. It's an absolutely incredible tool for streamlining all kinds of business communications. It just takes the friction right out of getting that painful first draft done.
And the process couldn't be more straightforward. You just input your key metrics, things like your return on ad spend and your customer acquisition cost. And what you get back is a professionally structured draft. Whether it's for an investor update, a pitch deck, or just a team email, that blank page is no longer an obstacle. But what if you need more than just a quick summary? What if you need to craft a really strategic narrative that tells a story? Well, that's where a tool like Google Gemini really begins to shine. Just look at this. On the left, you see the input, just raw data, revenue, customer acquisition costs, but look at the output in the middle. It's not just spitting back facts, it's creating a founder's performance summary. It's crafting a narrative of improved unit economics, which has huge strategic value when you're trying to position your brand for the next big funding round. Now, this all sounds incredible, I know, but there is one final, and I mean critical piece to this whole puzzle. It's about what it truly means to work with your new AI copilot and the absolutely crucial advantage of keeping a human in the loop. So here's the most important point of all. An AI copilot is not an autopilot. Let me say that again. It is a powerful assistant that is amazing at repetitive tasks, but it absolutely requires your human guidance, your verification, and your strategic oversight to make sure that the final product is accurate and high quality.
And that brings us to the golden rules for using these tools effectively. Rule number 1, AI generates, but you verify. Always. AI's fact-checking is far from perfect. Rule 2, specific data in prevents generic data out. And maybe most importantly, your strategy and your expertise must always be the one guiding the tool, not the other way around. When you really embrace this partnership, the result is just dramatic. This simple chart says it all. The time you once poured into manual reporting, we're talking hours, maybe even days, it shrinks down to minutes. And here's the real win. This isn't just about saving time. It's about what you do with that time. You get to reinvest it into high-value work that was getting pushed aside, like talking to your customers, developing new products, or building key partnerships. So let's bring it all home. Your AI co-pilot is your analyst, it's your data visualizer, and it's your first draft writer. It is an incredibly powerful assistant. But you, the founder, the leader, the marketer, you remain the strategist. You are still firmly in the driver's seat, making the critical decisions that push your business forward.
And that leaves us with one final question for you to think about. After seeing all of this, what's the very first time-consuming, frustrating task in your own workflow that you are going to hand over to your new AI copilot?